Yet, few remember that the Philistine cities were among the largest of their time, boasting sophisticated cultures and advanced technologies that often surpassed their neighbors. During the Late Bronze Age, Egypt exerted significant control over Canaan, using cities like Ashdod, Ashkelon, Mycenaean palaces in Greece were reduced to ash, and numerous fortified cities in Syria were either destroyed or abandoned within a single generation. Pollen analysis from the Bronze Age layers reveals that around 1250 BCE, a severe drought triggered a cascading collapse of multiple Mediterranean civilizations, wreaking havoc from Greece to Gaza. Out of this chaos emerged the so-called Sea Peoples, a loose coalition of displaced groups fleeing crisis, destruction, and famine. Egypt's records document their first encounter with these groups in 1208 BCE, when a Libyan chieftain named Murir allied with others like the Akaiwasha and the Shilik and launched an invasion of Egyptian territory. While the Peliset remained a minority compared to the predominant Semitic population, they gradually blended with local inhabitants to form a new group, known in Hebrew as the Pelishtim, or Philistines. By the 11th century BCE, the Philistines had established a confederation of 5 city-states along the southern coast: Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Ekron, and Gath, collectively known as the Philistine Pentapolis. The exact origins of the Peliset remain uncertain, with biblical tradition suggesting they came from a land called Kaftor, often linked to Crete due to phonetic similarities across ancient languages. The Egyptians referred to it as Keftu, and the Assyrians and Babylonians had similar names. 2019 DNA analysis from Philistine cemeteries revealed that early Iron Age Philistines exhibited 25 to 70% Southern European ancestry, closely resembling ancient populations from the Aegean, Sardinia, and the Iberian Peninsula. However, precisely pinpointing their homeland remains challenging. Language and religion in the Philistine language may hold further clues to their origins, but the evidence is scant. Initially, the Philistine city-states acknowledged Egyptian authority, paying tribute. However, as Egypt descended into turbulence during the mid-11th century BCE, the Philistines seized the opportunity to assert independence. Their primary adversaries became the Israelites to the north and east, along with the Amalekites to the south. Despite being less documented, the conflicts with the Amalekites were significant. The wars with the Israelites, however, are well documented in biblical tradition. At this point, the Philistines unified as a cohesive force while the Israelites remained fragmented, with each tribe acting independently. As the book of Judges states, in those days there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. Historically, the Philistines enjoyed advantages over the Israelites, both in unity and technology. They were among the first in Canaan to use iron weaponry on a large scale, a technology likely brought from their homeland. Archaeological findings confirm the presence of various Philistine iron weapons, including swords, spearheads, and tools. At one point, the Philistines even prohibited the sale of iron weaponry to local Semitic tribes. The Bible notes that David and Solomon possessed iron swords as symbols of status. Yet, as ironworking knowledge spread across the region, the Israelites gradually adopted iron for their own use. These advantages typically favored the Philistines in battles. The Israelites fell under Philistine domination, with the Philistines even capturing the Ark of the Covenant during one battle, albeit returning it later. Borders expanded eastward, and Philistine governors emerged in numerous Israelite towns. However, around 1000 BCE, the tide began to turn. Under the burden of Philistine rule, the tribes of Israel began uniting, leading to the rise of their first king, Saul, who fought the Philistines with mixed success. This period also includes the renowned story of David and Goliath, where Goliath, an imposing warrior from Gath, challenged Israel's best. When no warrior accepted, he taunted the Israelites, only to be confronted by the young David, who defeated Goliath with a single stone. Archaeological findings add intriguing layers to this narrative. An ostracon discovered at Gath, dated to the early 9th century BCE, bears the letters GLYT, interpreted by many scholars as a form of Goliath's name. While it's too bold to assert this refers to the biblical Goliath, the evidence suggests the name was indeed used among Gath's inhabitants during that era. Having become king after Saul's death, David had an interesting history with the Philistines. Early in his life, he fell out of favor with Saul and sought refuge among them, even joining their ranks. Later, as king, Philistine mercenaries formed his personal bodyguard. During his reign, David inflicted substantial defeats on the Philistines, evident from archaeological evidence showing the destruction at Ekron and Gath in the mid-9th century BCE. These defeats disrupted the old political structure. Rather than ruling collectively, each Philistine city evolved into a separate kingdom, losing their coordinated military action. The disarray necessitated a political reorganization, yet Philistine cities maintained a degree of independence, despite paying tribute to David and later to Solomon. As the united monarchy fragmented into Israel and Judah around 930 BCE, the Philistine cities regained independence, leading to frequent border conflicts with both kingdoms. Notably, in 843 BCE, the Philistines, together with allied Arab tribes, captured Jerusalem, marking a high point in their regional influence. However, this period also initiated Philistia's decline, while the Phoenicians entered their golden age. Gaining control over Mediterranean maritime trade, the significance of Philistine port cities diminished, with Jaffa and Dor falling under Phoenician influence. The rise of Assyrian power in 735 BCE, the Assyrians emerged as a dominant force. Under Tiglath-Pileser III, after campaigns in Anatolia, Urartu, and Media, he turned his attention toward the wealth of Canaanite cities. A large anti-Assyrian coalition formed, including Rezin of Damascus, several Phoenician cities, the northern kingdom of Israel, and the Philistine city-states. However, King Ahaz of Judah chose to align with Assyria. The subsequent fighting lasted several years and concluded with the destruction of the Aramean kingdom and the Assyrian capture of Damascus. Tiglath-Pileser's decisive victory forced the remaining coalition members, including the Philistine city-states, to submit to Assyrian rule as vassals. Egypt, recovering from its internal crises, became the only counterweight against Assyria. However, it preferred to maintain a buffer of Canaanite states, Israel, Judah, and the Philistine cities between itself and the powerful Assyrian expansion. Conclusion: for the next 2 centuries, regional politics followed a predictable pattern. Whenever revolts erupted within the Assyrian Empire, the Philistines, alongside their allies, found themselves embroiled in conflict. In the context of biblical narratives, the Philistines emerged not just as villains, but as a complex society with rich cultural contributions, and tumultuous histories interwoven with the emergence of Israel. Understanding the Philistines not only enriches our knowledge of biblical history, but also reveals the intricate tapestry of ancient civilizations that predated and influenced them,